Welcome to the Free Agent Real Estate Investing Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We got another great episode for you guys. I'm your co-host, Stratton Brown.
And I'm your co-host, Michael Butler, man. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you guys so much. Man, I'm excited. I feel like we both got a lot of big things going on, and we're finally starting to see, what you can do with the money you make in wholesaling.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, of like actually now starting to get into the passive income and the other types of investment strategies.
For sure. Hey, for whoever put the yo in there, go ahead and allow StreamYard the ability to use your name. But yeah,
right. Go ahead. So how's business been going, bro?
You know, it's going good, man. Just trying to figure out, just trying to stay consistent. And like we said, last podcast, we got a lot of things coming via like referral or just old pipeline type deals. And so just dialing in on just our marketing in general. You guys hear my dog just walking around?
Oh, Dino. Yeah, I can hear your dog walking around. Great microphone, bro.
It's a good ass microphone.
So when you say referral and old pipeline, I mean, old pipeline is the number one way to get deals.
Yeah.
How long you been working these things?
Most of these deals that are coming through are, at least a year and a half. So I mean, these are ones that's been working for a while. Hopefully we get one close sometime the end of this month, next month, and that'll be one I've worked almost going on 2 years.
All right, isn't that crazy?
No, for sure it is, man. It's
what's holding them back for 2 years? Like, what's the bullshit they have to solve first?
There was stuff that came up in escrow when it came to title issues. For a while there was just multiple people when it comes to selling the property. Finally got those things ironed out, right? Figured out what the person wanted. And then from that point, we're really just waiting on the state, waiting on death certificates. Sent it into the county.
Is that the stuff you handled with me the other day?
Or
is that a different one?
Yeah, no, it was. We sent it down to the state because the county couldn't find it, and so I actually sent it first 1 day next day shipping. I sent it with return next day shipping also. So they got it, went to a PO box, and so then the problem is the state takes about 3 to 4 weeks to process it. Oh, and wow. I'm assuming that's 3 to 4 weeks after they receive it from the PO box, right? So we're on 3 weeks right now. I track the tracking number every day, and there's no movement or anything. So I'm just kidding, it hasn't been sent back yet.
And that one was a hairy one, dude. I remember. We should have stolen it. Well, what's it called?
Well, no, for sure though. But and it's only the funny thing is, as much as we can complain about like how long it's kind of taken, it's almost benefited me because the ARV in that area has been going crazy. And like I said, there's we were probably sitting around.
You sent me the other day. You sent me, bro, fucking bananas.
Bro, just from a few months ago, if what I sent you actually closes, bro, like ARV like doubles. Well, not doubles, but it goes up like 20 grand.
All right. What's going on, Aaron? And guys, we loved the interaction last week.
Man, it's phenomenal.
Right, it was phenomenal, bro. It was a great podcast. Jason's the man, and just having that, being able to answer people's questions and really share what's going on inside those heads, inside his head, what's going on inside our heads, the reason. Because I think at least one thing that a lot of at least young Black people don't get is like someone who's actually in business doing stuff.
For sure. So someone that they can relate to.
Right? Someone they can relate to, like, oh, I could go do that. I don't have to go play football. I feel like that's another reason like I don't really talk about my past that much.
Yeah, but it's almost it's a positive though. It's one of those things that we were prepared. The thing about sports is you don't want sports to be everything for you. And I think the biggest thing, and again, kind of like why we did this podcast, right? We talk about second careers and just moving on with life because you can only play football for so long. And so I think being able to be exposed to other things, being an athlete, there's certain traits and things that you learn being an athlete when it comes to just being resilient and just hard work and accountability and, just being someone that people can depend on. And I think that translate to so many different other fields.
Without a doubt. And it was my birthday this week, bro. You want to see the dope ass present I got for my sister? Where is it?
Life lessons.
Life lessons from Bob Ross.
Bob Ross, the painter, right?
The painter, bro.
It's funny that you love that with you and my wife sharing the same birthday. You grew up watching Bob Ross, man. You may be a little young. You know, you're a little young.
Bro, I grew up watching Bob Ross. Bob Ross is that guy.
Yeah. See, whereas for me, like, I mean, I didn't give two shits about painting, and I know there was life lessons in it, but I just
thought it was funny, bro.
That's just not something that I was, into.
I have not a single artistic bone in my body. I remember the one good photo, the one good drawing I had.
Yeah.
And it was of a Super Saiyan. And it was in the 4th grade. Huh?
Dragon Ball Z?
Oh, yeah, bro. What? You don't know Dragon Ball Z?
Bro, I'm telling you, I didn't care about none of that. That shit was like weird.
What'd you do?
Huh?
What'd you care about? You didn't care about Dragon Ball Z?
Rocks and shit, bro.
You still didn't care about Dragon Ball Z?
No, I didn't. To me, Dragon Ball Z was like, I was a Pokemon guy.
Bro, you gotta love them all. Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Digimon.
Well, when Digimon and Dragon Ball Z came out, I freaking hated it just because I felt like they were trying to be like Pokemon.
What do you mean, bro?
I don't know, bro.
Dragon Ball Z like Pokemon? Like,
I don't know.
Pokemon have gold
about Dragon Ball Z to sit there and get upset. Like, I'll sound uneducated even trying to talk about it, bro.
I don't got time for this. I don't have the emotional energy.
I don't have time for this negativity.
I don't have time for this negativity.
What's up, guys, man? Hey, if you guys are in here, man, go ahead and drop a comment so we can see who's all in here. Make sure that you thumbs up. You like this little our little podcast here. Share it on your Facebook feed. Share it with families and friends. Let's get some people in here. Ask some questions. Man, we're excited for this week.
Yeah, man. What up? So, bro. That's what we're going to fucking talk about, at least first, and then we'll talk about my stuff. Let's talk about you getting robbed.
That's not, man. That shit was... Are we talking about the getting robbed part, or are we talking about just someone breaking into one of the units? Because remember, it was back-to-back days.
Oh, bro, I didn't know about the second part. What the fuck?
Oh, bro, this week...
all right, bro, so start off with you getting robbed, and then the break-in.
So, yeah, okay, so we
probably
had...
the same motherfucker.
It wasn't the same one, but we had an incident with our first Airbnb where people came, and it was an incident inside of it where it was just a lot of foot traffic, because we have the Ring cameras and the floodlights and the doorbell. So, I mean, it was a lot of activity, but at the end of the day, people, they rent these places out, and you don't want to intrude on anything like that. And if you don't have anything to really, call them out on, you just kind of just let it be. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you can't. Who am I to say people aren't having visitors at 2 a.m? You know what I mean? Like that's just what it is. And so we had like a gut feeling that it was just something was up, but we got no complaints from the neighbors. And we got a Susan in that neighborhood. we got a Susan in that neighborhood, and our thought was, man, if Susan ain't hitting us up, man, it ain't her real name's not Susan, by the way, guys. But if she's not hitting us up, then everything's cool. The cleaners went in there after they checked out, and it was just they used all the bedding, bro. They used all the towels were damaged, blood on them, found needles and stuff like that, right? So reached out to the guests, and we pretty much settled it out, right? They paid extra fees and stuff like that. And then probably about 2 or 3 weeks later, we had an opening, and someone came. They booked last minute, booked full price for about 4 days. And it was cool, man. It was, again, nothing really crazy, dude. They'll come, they'll leave. Cleaners showed up the day they checked out. And I guess the front door, when they pushed it closed, they didn't, on the ring, you can hear it kind of lock. You can hear it latch. Uh-huh. And when it never latched, and I guess the garage door was left open. And when the cleaner walked in, I'm taking Tyson to school, bro, where I'm pulling up from the office. So it's about 11:30. I'm pulling up to the office to go get Tyson ready so I can go take him to school. And I get a call, and they're just like, "Hey, the Airbnb, the doors was open, the garage was open, the TV's gone, there's a hole in the wall, shit's missing out of the home." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Right? So this is the first time this shit's happened, and so we go take a look at it. bro, the TV was gone. Someone took like a vase. It was like a little, the little plants that you can get. Someone freaking like got it and just like smashed it into the wall. So it was like a fucking hole. Like it was like literally in the wall, right? The pot was in the wall and the plant was sticking out of the damn wall. There was decor pieces missing off in some of the rooms. Decor was missing off the walls. We had 3 nightstands missing. They took our pack and play. They took our air up mattress. Took one of our poof pillows. Right? They left one. They took one of the poof pillows. They took our plant that was in the living room. And it was crazy because you go back on the camera and you can't see none of it, right? And so it all came down to, I guess they were parking into the garage and they just loaded all this shit in there. And they just took all the shit, bro. And so we had to do an inventory of all the stuff, make a claim. And it ends up costing them more just for stealing the shit than it's going to cost us to replace it. You know what I mean? But it's just an hassle, dude.
Take everything out of their card?
Huh?
Airbnb will just take all that money out of their bank account?
I'm not 100% sure on how it works. We just had to itemize everything, man, and what it was cost to repair things, what it cost to replace the things. And, man, it came up to like a $3,200 tab. And so the claim right now is with Airbnb, and we're just kind of waiting to see kind of how that plays out.
Bro, that's talk about how they were completely like fine. Like you talked to Kyle about it, and like, yeah, bro, I would have put him in there. Yeah. So the people had no reviews; they weren't local. So typically, when a review, not a review, but when a request a book comes in, the first thing we look at is how long they've been on Airbnb and the reviews. And you try not to be the type of person where you don't have no reviews, so I'm not going to let you book, right? It kind of fucks with the algorithm, too. Like, if you deny too many people, it starts putting you further down when people go to search your market. And so we just ask simple questions like, hey, why are you coming? Understand that we're going to ask you these questions just because you don't have reviews. You are new to Airbnb. They told us that stuff. They were staying for 4 days. They were verified, like their identity and stuff like that. We make sure that they review our house rules so that they understand that there are cameras on the property. We don't allow parties, just all these things that they have to pretty much double confirm that they understand them. Yep. And if they do that, typically if someone has, ill intentions and stuff like that, they're not going to agree to it, or they're just going to ignore the message and not reply, right? They're going to go look for someone else who really doesn't take the time to really vet out these guests. And so the person did all that stuff, man. And so we felt comfortable with it. And so, yeah, we let it be. I mean, they stayed for like 4 or 5 nights, made like $1,000 off of it. It was a good booking, to be honest with you. And so the real negative to the whole situation was just the inconvenience, bro. Like, that was the first time I actually couldn't go to football practice because, I coach and stuff like that, just because there was so much shit that had to get done because we had guests checking in the same night. So you figure we found this out around 11 a.m. and our guest checks in at 4. So we had to make sure that, You get it all turned around in time?
We got it cleaned. I mean, shout out to our cleaners, man. They took care of that big time. We got it cleaned. I was able to replace the TV. The hole in the wall stayed. We weren't able to get that patched up early. But we just reached out to the guests that were coming. We replaced the pack and play, the air up mattress. We just let them know, hey, everything that you guys need or that you would expect for your visit will be at the property. Please ignore the hole in the wall. And then as for decor, man, that's just something that obviously you want it to always look at its best. Yep. But that's not going to make or break somebody's stay. And so you just do what you got to do to make sure that you're able to get it up to standard for your next guest. And then we blocked out the day after they checked out and we took care of the rest. But man, Carlos fixed the hole in the wall and man, it's brand new now.
That's crazy.
So I believe that was on that was like on a Tuesday or something like that.
Back to back.
So yeah, so that was in the one that we started in December. And then the next day, bro, I swear to God, the same time, I'm coming home from the office, getting Tyson ready for school. And it's because it's around 11, and that's when the guests check out. But at this time, we actually didn't have a guest checking out. It was our new listing, our new tower listing. Our guests had checked in Tuesday, right? Our first guest. So then Wednesday, I get a text message not even a text message. I got a call from the guests, and they stated that someone had broke into the home. And I'm like, what do you mean somebody broke into the home? And so then we go look at the ring, bro, and sure enough, it's like a teenage kid hopped the gate of the neighbors, came in. And it's an older home, bro. So he like pried away at the windows or something like that in our sunroom. Got in. One of the kids ended up being home. He was like a 17-year-old kid, and it was a teenage kid that kind of broke in. So he kind of walked in on dude in the sunroom, bro. And so they were pretty much like, hey, like there's kids here. They were at a funeral. They had to leave a funeral because the brother called him, was like, hey, somebody was in the house. They asked for a refund. So, obviously we did those things, man. We had to make sure that we secured the house and stuff like that, bro. It was a shit show.
Is this by our office?
Yes, right by our office. And what pisses me off is because we were getting alerts on the ring, but we just wasn't checking it because we had guests, you know what I mean? And so you try to just make sure that you don't invade people's privacy. When someone's at the house, you're not thinking that it's going to be anything alarming. But bro, I go back and look at it, and he didn't see the ring because we literally caught the whole process of dude yanked out the window and he like made a noise and he went like this and stood on the side of the little fireplace from the outside, bro. It was crazy, bro. So
did the kid get caught?
I don't think he got caught. We actually still got to file a damn police report on that, but they did take it pretty serious, bro, because they was just like at the end of the day, somebody was in the house, so it wasn't just like somebody broke in and no one was home. They were like, it's a whole nother level because somebody was home. And then the guests were just like, hey, like we're from Chicago, bro. He's like, we're from Chicago, bro. Like we don't take this stuff lightly, And
bro, no, I'd be furious. Like I'd be pissed.
They were. He was like, we just don't feel safe here. I said, obviously you just apologize and you're just like, I completely understand, man. I got kids. I wouldn't feel safe. Like, you know what I mean? Like what that does to you, especially when you're at an Airbnb or you're traveling, this isn't home for you. So, man, it was an unfortunate situation. But we live and learn, man.
Bro, I've never heard of someone having that many shitty situations with an Airbnb.
Bro,
Kyle's never talked about
Kyle,
this shit.
And mind you, Kyle had, he's managing like 30 units, 25, 30 units. And he's like, bro, I've never had anything like this happen to me.
And he has a house a block away. He has like two houses.
Two a block away, bro. And so I was just like, you know what? It's a test, bro. You know what I'm saying? I took him on the chin, bounced back. Both of them are booked right now. So, I ain't tripping.
At least you didn't get bad reviews, bro. I'd be so pissed. I'd find that fucking teenager.
Oh, bro, I was. Oh, trust me. Every time I drive to the office, bro, I'm peeking down the street. Something like,
bitch, I know you.
Straight bumming it. Dude was straight bumming it out, bro. So I know exactly what he looked like. The camera was just clear as day. You better hope I don't see his little ass. Bro. It's gonna be like Friday, bro. When the kid that kept kicking over the trash cans and shit. I'm gonna pull off my belt, bro, and just start whooping his ass.
Man, how'd you cope with that stress? That's fucking stressful. Because this is your first time dealing with quote unquote tenants. The second situation would freak me the hell out.
The second situation did freak me out because that's a privacy thing. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
The first situation with people stealing something. We handled that just by we took the garage access away. So I just went ahead and put a bolt lock on the inside of the garage, so you need a key to get into it. So we just took access away from guests. It's an unfortunate situation. Our guest yesterday gave us a call and was just like, "Hey, I can't find the remote." And I just called and explained to him. I said, this is kind of what's going on. We've replaced their remote twice. And then the last time someone stole $3,000 worth of furniture. At this point, it just doesn't make sense for us to continue to do that, right? And they completely understood. And then as for the other one, man, we just went in there and we just pretty much secured all those windows. And because they're older windows, you just don't expect some shit like that to happen. You know what I mean? So
that's some crazy shit.
We just made sure we secured it, man, and we had a guest checking in. So what we did was we blocked off those days because we already had a guest that was checking in for the next 34 days.
Bro, that's some crazy shit.
But as for the stress, man, we're in real estate, bro. So, I always look at it as
first one, though.
Things. At the end of the day, we made money off the bookings. The stuff, you file claims for, it's going to get replaced. It's going to cost them a whole lot more money than it's going to cost us to replace it. So we make extra money there. So, shit happens, bro. I think the biggest thing was with my wife, because she's new to the investing side of it when it comes to just the Airbnb and everything like that. And so just helping her take on, filing the claims and getting everything organized and, just staying positive. At the end of the day, we understand that shit happens, and the fact that it's never happened to Kyle, bro, like that just, that's one of those things. Like it happens, bro. We're just unfortunate that it happened to us so early. But I mean,
it's out of the way.
Armor.
It's out of the way, right? And then eventually, if one of them becomes a problem property, bro, you just offload it.
Huh? I'm not gonna offload it. Making me $2,000 a month.
Huh?
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna even freaking off it like that. If it's still making us money.
No, I'm saying if it becomes a problem property.
I don't give a fuck about that problem. I'll file claims all day. Bro, I don't give a shit.
I have one. So, I got one, but it's not on Airbnb. One that me and Kyle own. That if we can collect another $20,000 off that thing off of an option fee, cool. But if not, bro, I don't fucking get rid of it, bro.
Yeah,
get rid of it. It's in Bakersfield, dude. It's too far. Like the logistics of it. I was like, oh yeah, it's a lease option, bro. These people are fine. They just gave us $20,000.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it can definitely it can become a lot, man. You definitely got to be hard on that. My boy Sean Guzman up in here.
What's going on, Sean?
Live video and not teach me. Never mind, I'm out of here. Mike, you always been about the grind since high school. It's great to see you doing good. I appreciate that, man. Hey, Sean is a childhood friend of mine, man. We grew up right around the block from each other. We played football since junior high together, went to high school together. That's my boy, man. So, and what he's referring to was a message that I had posted on Facebook today. Because I had a guy reach out to me like, hey, I want to, and that's typically what happened, right? You kind of expect it. You post any type of good things that happen. And again, I post checks and I, deposits and stuff like that. And if anything, man, it's for motivation. Not for me, but for, again, Black man, got some type of success in real estate, Southeast Fresno. So the biggest thing for me is it's exposure, man. I'm trying to expose anybody that I grew up with in my neighborhood, anyone that looks like me, just anyone trying to look for a better way, Yep. And there's no better language than money sometimes, man. So dude reached out to me wanting to learn how to do it. He was like, man, how can I learn this? I want to learn this or something like that. Or can I learn it or something like that? And I was like, yeah, there's tons of videos on YouTube about wholesaling. And then he replied to me at like 2:00 in the morning and was just like, you're just going to point me to some videos and not teach me? And he was like, hard work. Like, bro, got upset because I pointed him in the direction of YouTube. And so I was like, bro, I'm not, what did I tell him? I said,
bitch, pay me.
I'm not doing it for me, bro. I'm doing that for you. I'm not gonna, what do you want to know? Like, people reach out about wanting to know about wholesaling. Like, bro, go look on YouTube. And you know what? It's funny because I'm going to use Deron Smith, right? We both played with Deron Smith. Deron Smith played in the NFL, bro. Started another business.
Amazing human too, right?
Amazing human, dude. Amazing human. He asked me about wholesaling, man. I told him exactly, hey, go on YouTube, Max Maxwell, bro. Watch all his older videos, right? Because he's been building that new build house and, all these things, because he's done diverse, right? He's grown. But all of Max Maxwell's older videos take you all through wholesaling, bro. He takes you on appointments. He takes you through marketing, cold calling, like all this shit. And that's what I did. That's how I learned. I watched every fucking video. And so I tell people, if you want to learn about wholesaling, bro, go to YouTube, type in Max Maxwell and watch all of his older videos. It didn't come to me. If you got questions, come to me. Open book. But, I told Deron this same stuff. And every time I talk to Deron now, bro, he's asking me specific questions on who I use as skip trace or
then he takes action,
happens.
Bro.
He's taking action.
He's taking action, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me you want to know about wholesaling, but then you don't want to do none of the fucking work, bro. I ain't got time for that shit. I'm all about giving back, but I'm not going to sit there and hold your hand through it, bro.
But I charge now. Is what I started doing. I charge now, bro.
Yeah.
For one, the biggest thing I want dudes just to have skin in the game to take action, right? I'm all about helping you.
Yeah.
But it feels like just nobody takes action, and then for someone to get mad at me for me not teaching them when I'm running 4 different companies and I still have to spend enough time with my son.
Yeah.
Right? To where you're mad at me, bro?
You should be mad at yourself for being
you're mad at me, bro? Like, you want me to take don't you want to spend time with your family? Like, there's a lot of shit that's going on.
This shit ain't free. I actually had somebody comment on the post, and they was just like, start charging their ass, right? They say they'd be crickets. But it's just, typically you charge someone once you have a process, you know what I mean? Or you have a proven system. Like, bro, I'm not, in no way am I saying I have a system that's proven, bro. I just know what works. And I'm constantly trying to dial in on that and hone that skill. So for me to turn around and try to charge somebody for something that, I'm still figuring out. I just, I'm not there yet. So I have no problem doing a podcast. I have no problem going live on Instagram, posting TikToks, shit like that. Just, you got questions, ask me. Propstream, right? I tell people go to mainlinecomps.com, shameless plug, right? Because if you want to know how I comp properties, bro, that's how I comp properties. That's how I look up buyers. That's what I do. Like, I'm very transparent in what I do and how I do it. And if you can't take what I put out on social media and actually be good with it, or not be good with it, but actually take some action, then I can't help you, bro. Because you got to want to do it yourself. You got to have a bigger why.
Bro, I can't believe someone said that to you. You're not going to teach me? Like, bro, like, you have like 4 different college professors. Like, you're learning a new job, dude. Like, you're not just, it's not like, hey, bro, so you're going to go and you're going to go do step 1, 2, and 3. Like, yeah, they make it seem that simple, but you're learning an entirely new trade, bro. Mm-hmm. Most of these people aren't even in sales.
100%. And when it comes to wholesaling, bro, like, I can sit there and tell you to go drive for dollars. Because, I mean, that would be the first thing that you would want to do, right? If you don't have much money to get started, you would go driving for dollars or door knocking, whatever it may be. But how are you going to know what doors to knock on? How are you going to know what you're looking for when you're driving for dollars? How are you going to know how to get a hold of people? Like, bro, go watch some videos and understand the process of wholesaling. Once you understand what wholesaling is, you understand that it's marketing to find a lead. It's reaching out to the lead, talking to them about if they want to sell their home. Just like, pulling out motivation, all these things. You're not going to know. You got to know a framework of something. I can't just throw you on a football field and be like, hey, bro, run with the ball. Like, bro, where am I running? Like, you got to at least know what the goal is, when you're playing football, bro. Like, so those are things that you got to do on your own.
100%. And Aaron says people want shit handed to them on a silver platter. We don't mind helping people. They just have to do the work, right, bro? You just got to do the work.
Man.
I've told so many people how to do stuff, and I really just got sick of it, right? Of wasting my time.
Yeah.
Of being like, bro, go do this, this, and this. And I know it's going to get them where they need to go.
Yeah. Like, you can come to me and be like, hey, man, I figured out wholesaling. Bro, it's when I get a house. It's when I get a house and I put it on the MLS and sell it. Like, even if you came to me with some shit like that, like, I'm like, no. Like, I could tell you done like listen to some shit, but you just wasn't fully comprehending it. I could work with that, bro. But when you just say, how do I, what's wholesaling? How do I get into wholesaling? Like, you go watch some YouTube, take away, transcribe whatever you get out of it. Come back to me and I'll clarify whatever you need clarified.
Right. And you weren't even asking for value back. For me, like, it's like you aren't even asking to like bring me value.
Bring me a deal, bro.
Well, I mean, yeah, you got a JV with them, but like for me, bro, like if you want something for free, you got to bring me some type of value. I love helping people. Then Pace finally ran out. I think Pace is the most amazing one as far as delivering value with that stuff.
Yeah.
And then here's finally like, bro, I can't do it anymore.
Bro, here's what he told me. He said, "Can I learn how to do this?"
Do what?
Oh, well, he replied to the check, right? Or the deposits. And I said, for sure. I said, there's tons of videos on YouTube on wholesaling. And he goes, wow. Wow. Instead of helping me, you want me to watch a video? Thanks. Hard worker. Never mind.
What?
I said, no, bro, I want you to help yourself by getting the process started. I said, if you got questions on what you're learning, you can always ask. No. Don't say I didn't want, bro, I'm trying to help you.
It's like you don't realize those lessons though until you get to a certain point, right?
Yeah.
When I learned about like being a perfectionist, and there's 2 separate times that stand out as a child.
Yeah.
Well, like a teen. One time, my dad's like, all right, you got to go out there and till the garden. And I was like, oh, man, all right, I got to go play with my friends. And so I go out there and I till it half-ass, and my dad's like, fuck no. Take your ass back and retill that whole bitch.
You know what I'm saying?
And then another time I had to pressure wash out the entire warehouse. And I get done. And he was like, nah, you see this streak? And it was like one where like really pressed it and like got rid of the grime. He was like, no, everything needs to look like that. Start over.
Start over, bro.
I was in that bitch all day.
That's how you teach it, bro. It's sweat equity. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it was. Like, we all have chores when, growing up, hopefully. You know what I mean? And when my chores wasn't right, like, it's funny. It blows my mind now because, like, there's times where they're just like, oh, the kid won't do this, or I'll just do the dishes because they don't do them right. I'm like, what do you mean they don't do them right? Bro, like, if we didn't do shit right in my house, bro, whenever my parents came home, like, it didn't matter if it was 2 o'clock in the morning, they were waking our ass up. Hey, you wash them dishes half-assed, get in there and clean them. You know what I mean? So what does that tell you? Like, bro, I'm going to do this shit right the first time because they'll wake me up out of my sleep. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, you start to see it. You're like, shit, I better do it right the first time because if not, they're going to wake me up out of my sleep. But what happens is nowadays parents just let them sleep and they just wash them themselves. Like, what lesson are they learning? That if I fuck it up, my parents are going to come clean it up after me?
Right? I'm like, what are you doing for yourself too, bro? You're old enough where you can do dishes? You can do something?
Bro, you're going to do that shit 10 times to get that shit right. And you're gonna remember the time I made you do it 10 times.
Right, you're gonna remember.
So,
man,
yeah, bro. So that's kind of what I've been dealing with. What about you?
We locked up a deal in India. I'll let you know how that goes. Not a very big spread.
Where at?
Indianapolis.
Oh, okay. Okay, you still out there?
It came in through the CRM. All of a sudden, this dude's like, I need to sell. So I'll let you know how that goes. Actually. Huh? It's a JV of a JV, so I'll let you know how.
That's shitty, bro.
Super shitty. Deals. Super thin. If I was comfortable doing creative finance that far away, I would have done it.
Yeah.
Like the numbers made sense. It was a really like skinny equity deal. At 2006. Right. And so that's like, bro, it's a no-brainer. I could have bought that thing for pretty low entry fee and then gone around and optioned that or owner financed it pretty easily.
Yeah. All right, bro. I got another story about this week.
Okay.
All right. So Aaron's in here, and that's what made me think about it. All right, guys. So check this out. So, Aaron and Cletus, they reached out to me and they're just like, hey, we have, referral came in since Southeast Fresno. Go take this, go take a look at it. They knew the son or whatever. The son bought a house. Wanted the mom to move in, bought one of those Lennar, those next gen houses, right? The home needed work, right? Motivated, bro, like alley-oop. You know what I mean? It's like, let's go close this shit out. You know what I mean? And so we go on this appointment, and I'm walking around taking the pictures, right? Aaron's talking to the seller, just kind of, she's entertaining the seller while we take the pictures, bro. And so as I'm walking in the room and I'm taking a picture, I hear a voice and like, it sounds hella familiar. I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn around, look at the TV, and it's Dean Rogers' ass on TV on a commercial, right? And I'm like, damn, right? And so I'm like, hey, Cletus, look at this, right? So, Cletus looks at it, and so we're kind of like, it was a dope-ass commercial, bro. And the seller goes, she goes, oh, do you got a commercial too? And I was like, nah, I ain't got no. I ain't got no commercial. Right? And I'm just like, shit. And so we just continue on with it or whatever. The seller was just like nonchalant about it. We're talking. Eventually we started talking about, price and just kind of, I think before, obviously we're talking about kind of the motivation and just kind of, what her timeline was and blah, blah, blah. She said she had met with someone else, but her son, I guess since the son referred her, she told her son that she was talking to someone, and the son was like, nah, I already know people in real estate, and referred her to Aaron and Cletus. And so we're on this, and we start talking about price, and we're just like, so, do you have an idea of kind of like where you would like to be? You kind of talked about what was owed on it. Obviously, we understand the condition of the property. You understand the condition of the property. And she's like, no, I don't. And we were like, well, you said you were talking to someone else, but you turned down their offer. And so we were like, well, what did they even offer you? And she was like, oh, we didn't get that far yet. And so we're like, oh, okay. Like, again, older lady. So, we're just, they say sellers are liars, right? But at the end of the day, you always want to believe that they're going to, they got right intentions. And so we leave this appointment, bro. I call Dean, bro, and I'm clowning him about the commercial. I'm like, bro, if I ever go on another seller appointment and your ass comes on the TV, like that's like worst case scenario, bro. You're on an appointment and another investor's commercial comes on. You know what I mean? And then for them to have the nerve to be like, hey, you got a commercial too? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm clowning them about it. And I can't even remember how it came back up, but I'm like, it comes up that she had another offer and someone had offered her like 110 or something like that. I'm like, man, that's kind of high for the area. And so, I had my idea on like some people who probably would have offered this. And so I reached out to one person. They're like, nah, like, that's not me. Because it was going to be someone that I was thinking about wholesaling it too, And so, so then the next part, I'm like, well, Dean's everywhere, bro. So let me call Dean. And I'm like, hey, bro, you working a deal in Southeast Fresno? He's like, you gotta be more specific than that. And I'm like, yeah, I forgot you do deals everywhere, right? And so then we kind of niche down a little bit, give him a little bit more information. And he's like, yeah. He was like, he's typing it in the CRM. He's like, yeah, we locked that under contract on the 5th. He's like, seller kind of went ghost on us. And I'm like, are you shitting me? And so I let Aaron know, and Aaron reached out to the son. And then next year, like literally, I'm on the phone with Dean, and freaking the seller texts Alon, his acquisitions manager, texts him right back and say, hey, sorry I didn't get back to you. Yeah, we're a go. Let's wrap it up.
What? Bro, they're all fucking liars. They're all liars.
Bro, like I was like, bro, she was like entertaining us, like, you know what I mean? Like she hadn't, she talked to someone, but she cut it off. Bro, she was under contract with somebody else. And so here I am clowning Dean about this goddamn commercial. And I'm like, well, how did you even get this deal, bro? And he's like, the commercial. So she seen the commercial and she called his ass and bro locked it up. Bro. I was like, bro, this is crazy. So he talked about full circle, man. I'm sitting there clowning my man about his nice ass commercial, and kind of find out this freaking deal was already signed because of that commercial.
Bro, they're all liars. They're all liars.
I was fucking pissed, bro. I'm like, shit. That was yesterday, I think. That was yesterday.
But that's a good story though.
Oh fuck.
That's a super fucking. I mean, that's a waste of an hour and a half. But that's a good story.
We told Dean that he's gonna have to itemize that. He's gonna have to put like a fee on the closing statement of like $5,000 for playing games or something.
Games played.
Reduction $5,000.
Man, well, what's it called? You can. I was talking to another one of our friends, and he was like, "Oh no, bro, I sue everybody." He's like, "I get my attorney involved." He was like, "If they try and back out on us, like I legitimately have my attorney send them a piece of mail, and then we keep on pushing forward with it."
Oh, fuck. She said, "At least no one told us to get the fuck out the house." But we went up. Aaron, was that this week or was that last week? What was today? Thursday? So that appointment was Wednesday. It might have been like, it was fucking like Saturday. Saturday, we went on another appointment, another referral. And freaking the wife was all for it, bro. Wanted to sell. But as we're talking to her, she's just like, yeah, we're kind of asking her again, what's the timeline? Right. Why are you looking to move? What's holding you up? And she's like, well, I want to sell. I want to move closer to my grandkids. They're all in Visalia. We're the only ones here. And she's like, but my husband, he's not quite on board yet. So the moment she says that, I'm like, oh, well, this is going to be a minute. You know what I mean? Because if the husband's not on board, then,
it's a no-go.
It's a no-go, right? And so we're talking. Bro, great rapport. The lady's sweet lady, bro. Husband comes through the door. He's like, what's going on here? And she's like, honey, like, I told you, I had people coming over. We were going to talk about the house. She was like, sit down. They can give you some information. And he was like, well, this is clear why they're here, but he's just going on like my house is paid for, and my house is paid for. There's no way in hell that I'm going to sell this house and I'm going to be able to find a home, anywhere near what I'm going to get for this house. And again, we're not being unrealistic, as he's saying it, I'm like, shit, you're right. You know what I mean? Because at this price point right now, everything's selling, you know what I mean? So he's just going on and on and on. He eventually asked, what we were looking to pay. We told him. He was like, you think I'm about to walk down the street? It's like the house down the street selling for 300, and we're like, no offense, but what does it look like? You know what I mean? Like, this is a beautiful home, bro, but it's dated. Like, you know what I mean? If you're gonna get if you're gonna get anything at, you know what I mean, close to that, like, you're gonna have to, you know, it's a big ass house, bro. You gotta put at least 50 grand into this house to get it to where you're gonna get that amount of money.
Yep.
And he's like, you think I'm about to walk down the street and tell him that I'm getting this for my house? And we're just like, I mean, shit, you really ain't got no other choice, you know? And dude's just like constantly just like, his wife's like, honey, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. He's like, cutting her off, bro. He's being hella rude. I'm looking at Aaron because I'm like, you know, I know Aaron's getting pissed off. You know what I mean? Just the way he was cutting her off and all that stuff. And then Cletus, he was just like, look, like, we're not here. Like, we didn't call you guys. He's like, we didn't call you guys asking to buy your house. Like, your family, you know, referred us, you know, wanted to see if we can help you guys. That's why we're here. You know what I mean? And so then the dude's like, well, you know, we're not selling. He was like, so, I mean, you can go call somebody else, go meet with someone else. I'm pretty sure you got, you know, someone else to talk to. Right. And I'm sitting there like, dude's being an ass. Right. That's what I'm thinking to myself. And then Cletus was like, well, actually, we don't. You know, he's like, actually, we don't got nowhere else to go. Like, this was it. You know what I mean? And eventually we're just talking, and the wife is just like, you know, hey, you know, you're being really rude, you know. And Cletus was like, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, you're being an ass. And the dude was like, you know, he's like, well, you guys get the fuck out of my house. Then we just all hopped and bro and left. So this shit was, hey man, you couldn't write this shit out, man. It's been crazy,
bro.
She said you should have seen Michael's face when he walked in, bro. When the husband walked, because again, like the wife was already telling us like how he felt about selling the house. You know what I mean? And so when he walked in, bro, I was just like, oh shit, you know, here we go. You know what I mean? And he walked in on one, bro. Like it was.
Well, one thing that's like sketch that you don't ever think about is like sometimes if it's just you and a seller, bro.
Yeah.
What if you got some Silence of the Lambs shit going on? Right. I've been some like scary, like serial killer homeowners. Like I've been in some sketchy ass situations. I'm not as big as you, dude.
Bro, I had Cletus with me. I wasn't tripping.
At least there's 3 of you guys. I've gotten to an appointment and the power was off. And it was in like, what is it? Southeast Fresno in the fucking hood.
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
2.5. And like we pull up, I'm in there, I'm walking through with my phone flashlight. He unlocks a bunch of locks and there's a dude in the room. I was like, Jesus Christ, like what? No.
Williams, how many of y'all are in there?
I sent Kalani my location and I was like, hey man, if I don't hit you up in 30 minutes, like you need to do something about this.
Oh my God.
I've been in some sketch situations. Well, and then like I even think we have a tenant right now who we are somewhat working with and getting him set aside with the homeless situation. Yeah. But I get a call from his girlfriend saying that he's on heavy drugs. This is the guy down in Bakersfield. And she's like, the situation's too volatile. I'm moving out. I'm out. I'm done.
You want to sell? You said tenant.
Yeah, this is the one where we got the option fee in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Well, for one, they gave us $20,000 and they quit paying in month 2 or 3. Like they just quit paying. It's like, what in God's name? So we tried to work with them. I was like, bro, I don't want to take your $20,000, dipshit. Like, let's try and work something out. He lies to us, and then his mother gets involved, and now we're working with like the homeless shelter down there, and they're paying like 6 months of their rent. Okay. But I get a call, and the girlfriend's like, I'm out. I'm done. He's on heavy drugs. I hate him. I'm done with this shit. Me and the mom are dipping. I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, I don't want to go down there. Like, I don't want to go back down there. The house is what's it called? The house was nice, but then she tells me he freaking knocked out like a bathroom or something. Like he knocked down a wall and he's like, I'm putting in a bathroom. I was like, okay, so this dude's for sure a tweaker.
Wait, bro, there's already a bathroom there.
Right. There's already, bro, it's a 2-bathroom house, dude. Like, what are you trying to
2.5 now.
And like I called Pritchard, who's like, bro, it sounds like the situation's too volatile. You're just gonna have to go through with an eviction. And like I can't send a runner over there. Right? I'm not gonna send a runner over to a dude who's just freaking on heroin all day long.
You got to go handle that, bro.
Right. And then get this.
Instagram Live.
The mom calls me the next day. Like, nope, I'm sticking with him. We're doing it.
Oh, toxic ass relationship.
Right. Old toxic ass. Just like, throw your son to the curb. You're probably the reason he's like this.
Oh my goodness, bro. That's just ridiculous.
That was, but real estate is interesting. We're looking at more self-storage stuff now, right? But if any houses do come up, me and Kyle decided like, no slumlord shit. Like I'll take a low cap and just go on appreciation, and I can create cash flow in other places, like with Airbnb.
There's a lot of people. I mean, we just talked to Jason last week. You know how he's selling off some of his low-performing rentals in areas where he had most problems. And it's funny as hell because like you think about it and how we all get into real estate. Obviously, we talk about financial freedom, and we talk about giving back, right? We talk about creating spaces for kids, who grow up in areas that, aren't so desirable. You're trying to give them, good things, but then you get these stories, bro, and you understand like why people don't go invest in those areas. You know what I'm saying? I think shout out to Southwest Fresno, bro, because I think a lot of people kind of shied away from Southwest Fresno for a while. And it's becoming an area where I think, a lot of investors are okay with investing in, just because I think there is pride of
ownership.
There's pride of ownership there. You know what I mean? Like you can flip a house over there and people are thankful for it. They respect what you're doing for their neighborhood. And I think once people are starting to get over the fact of what they call gentrification and, white man coming in, buying my house. And, like once they got over all of that and realized what it was doing for the community and just what it is for the kids, I mean, I think it's turning into a very positive area to invest in.
Without a doubt. And Aaron, no, I've never walked into one of my houses and had a 400-pound naked man on the floor.
Bro. So the deal I'm talking about that I'm waiting on for next month, hopefully. When I first went to that property, bro, part of the reason why this man wants to move is because of one of his children. Bro, I walk in there and I'm like, bro, can I see the room? I gotta take pictures of the room and the bathroom. Well, the son was in the bathroom. And he's like, hey, you almost done in there, And the son's like, what the fuck you want, nigga? Like, whoa. Right? And so then dude like comes out the bathroom, bro. He swings the door open and he walks out butt ass naked. Bro, dude's at least, bro, I'm 330. So dude's he's at least 400. And bro got the belly hanging all over, you know what I mean? No pants on, bro. Like just butt ass naked. And I remember I was like, damn. So it's funny that she said that because then I go then he's like, he need to get in the room now. And dude's like, yeah, you come in. Bro, I walk in there, dude, like sitting in the chair like this, like, man, he's like, you trying to buy this house? I'm like, oh my God, bro. Like this shit is crazy. So, hey, man, it's, but that's why I think that's what I love the most about real estate, man. It's just so unpredictable. Some of these stories, man, you just can't make up. So it's just fun, man.
Bro, you start to see how interesting adults are once you get out of college.
That's what you call them.
Bro, like that weird, you remember that weird kid in elementary school?
Yeah.
That kid grew up. And like you're buying his house.
Hey, boy, you got a good relationship though now. You know what I mean? I call him, hey, bro, hey, when you gonna be out? He's like, man, I called out da-da-da-da. He's like, yeah, man, good looking, man. My pops, you just be, you always owe me. Dude, like 38, bro.
Well, like you just start to see like what's amazing to me is the way some people live, dude.
Yeah.
The way some people live to where like hoarding is not uncommon.
Oh, 100%. Like when you walk in houses now and they're like, oh, please excuse like the mess. I'm like, trust me. Like I'm not even worried about the mess. Like I'm just looking at the bones of this house, the structure. Like I've been into some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like this, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's what's cool sometimes. I think sometimes investors can't walk in and be like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? Like, no, man. Like
you can't ever walk in and like shit on it.
Yeah,
like,
bro. Like,
oh no, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. You got dogs? Oh, what kind of dog is it?
The worst one. So I've been in 2 really, really bad ones, but I think the worst one I've ever been in, and this is what I use with every seller who says, "Oh, excuse the mess." I'm like, well, there's one time, when I'm working for Alan, this landlord calls us and he's like, "Yeah, I got to sell this house. This piece of shit. This is what I want." Like word for word.
Oh yeah, baby.
I was like, hell yeah.
When you want to meet?
I get there. I meet the tenants outside. This dude's job was to clean out hoarder houses. The tenant's job. This motherfucker hoarded all the hoarder shit.
He was a hoarder
in his house. On God, bro. In his own house.
So he did his job.
So he did his job, but his house was, when I shit, like up to your shoulders with a walkway of nonsense. Nonsense. Like just piles of shit. Like piles, not even like organized, stacked things. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever been in. This is, and the guy's like, it'll take like 20 grand to fix up. I was like, we didn't end up buying it because we came near the price.
Clean this out.
Right. But he was like, it'll take me 20 grand. I was like, I'm on the phone, like, sir, have you seen this house? Like, I've seen it. It'll be fine.
I live in it.
Right.
Oh, no. That was a tenant.
That was the landlord.
No. The tenant was the one who was living there or whatever. So the landlord hadn't seen what it was. He's just thinking the house, when he let the tenant in, what it looked like.
No, he saw it.
Oh. So he's seen it.
And he was like, it's only gonna take me like 20 grand. I was like, bro, what?
Well, hey, bro, go ahead and pay that 20 grand, get it cleaned out, and then I'll buy it off you.
It was great. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever been in. But then you start to get into, with some hoarder people, they are nuts, dude. I remember one woman harassing me and Alan for a year.
To buy her house?
No, we were gonna buy it, and then she said, well, I went over the contract with her. I was like, this is what we're buying it at. I get a call. We open up escrow. I get a call a week later saying, I never agreed to this, blah, blah, blah. I have a witness with me with her daughter. I have our other acquisitions agent who I trained up. I was like, okay, this is what we are purchasing this house for. This means you will net X amount. 6 months later, after she calls us and bitches us out on the phone, I get a call, like, what? I think we called her Snow White. Like, we legitimately called her Snow White. And I decline it, and I get a 2-minute voicemail of getting bitched out by this person about me wanting to sell her house for too cheap. And like, we'd canceled the escrow. It's all done. I still get a call, and Alan still got a call the next week too. Like, you're just dealing with these crazy ass people.
Yeah, man. Sometimes, and it's funny because the ones that are the craziest typically sometimes end up being the thinnest ass deals. Like a deal that you're going to
always
make
the thinnest ass deals.
You're going to make $3 grand on, and these people are a fucking headache. You know what I mean?
Bro,
it's like,
always the thinnest deals.
Keep this house. You can keep this goddamn house.
When it's not worth your mental energy is one thing I'm starting to see, bro. Like I can go put that energy into something else and not have to be like, I don't have to be distracted when I'm doing a podcast or I'm spending time with my family, right? Of thinking about some fucking nonsense that's going on with said house or said properties.
Yeah.
To where like at this point I don't need the money.
Yeah. 100%. You can start being more selective on the things that you spend your time on. Not motherfuckers who are bashing you for not, sending them the direct link to the videos.
What is I'm trying to think what else is going on in our business, bro. We're going.
Hold on, who's this? Dean? I'm assuming this is Dean right here. I have walked into Dead Got Nasty Things, Guns, Gangs, Naked People, and oh my goodness. You're in the business long enough, man. I would assume that would be 100% true. That's crazy, man. I'm gonna assume that's Dean. He's been at it for a while.
Right. I mean, I don't really go on appointments anymore.
I just started sending Chris.
You did?
Yeah, he went to go look at some today in Porterville.
It's a drive.
But he's young, bro.
He's got a nice car. He'll be fine.
Hey, he made some money this week. He's
got a nice car. He'll be fine, bro.
Hey, the good thing. The one thing I do admire about Chris though is honestly, like that's his third deal. Fuck, he's killing it. You know what I mean? That's his third deal, and he hasn't spent $1 of it. You know what I mean? It's unheard of for a 21-year-old.
He's crazy.
So
you got to go buy a Gucci headband, bro. You got to go buy a Gucci headband. You got to go take your girl out. You got to go buy some new rims.
Bro, don't go putting that nonsense out here, making these people go out there and do that. Here we go. My boy, Mr. Miracle. He said, why don't you go on appointments? Yeah, go ahead and answer that.
For me, it's just time.
Yeah.
Right? Like now I've started to send a lot of leads to other people just because I don't have the time to go work them, and like I'll just do JV. Mm-hmm. Because well, at the beginning, I think everyone should go on appointments just to get to know how to like talk to the sellers and everything else. But like I can do the same thing with phone sales.
Yeah.
And unless I know it's a smoking deal, like I went and looked at 9 units owner finance last week. Like, okay, that's something to where I have to go and build the relationship with that person because they're good. It's going to be $1 million note that they're going to be entrusting with us. Right. So like you have to go in person and talk to them. But a lot of the times, unless I know it's like a deal, I'm not really going to go on an appointment. If I can get photos. Yeah. We're sending out a contract tomorrow, me and Zuber. And we got photos of it, talked to him about it. He was like, this is what I want. Blah, blah. Like you take him through the whole sales process. It's got tenants in place. And then we'll get it locked up without ever seeing it. Like we locked up a deal in Indianapolis last week. Never saw it. Talked to the dude. Hey, this is what we do. How are you feeling? Take him through the entire sales process the same way. Mm-hmm. And it saves a lot of time. It just depends on what you're doing for your marketing, right? Because like when we start doing stuff in Ridgecrest, I've never even been to Ridgecrest. And we've done some of our biggest deals there. Well,
Google Maps is or Google Earth, whatever the hell it is. It's a hell of a thing to look at. But
you just don't want to be on wild goose chases all day.
But it's kind of like even with COVID, I think made it a whole lot easier. But again, like you said, when you start going into other markets, bro, you physically can't go on these appointments. So you just become better at understanding like what you need to get over the phone, and you get better at asking questions. If for the most part, I mean, sometimes these appointments, they're just to see kind of what the property looks like. So we get a better understanding of the value of it. You know what I mean? We could look at maybe there's not, recent pictures of it. And the seller's asking for this amount of money. You feel like you might be able to make it work. And so you just need to see kind of what it looks like, kind of see what the area looks like. And so I can send somebody to go do that. Like I don't have to be out doing all those things anymore. And I think that's kind of ultimately what you should be trying to get to. But for me, it was really, I love going on appointments, but it has to be to lock up a deal. Like, it can't be to just get information or, whatever it may be. Again, if it's someone that I've been following up for a long time and I've personally have handled the deal, then yes, of course, I'm going to go and I got the relationship. But if you think about it, nowadays, we don't even do a lot of the marketing, right? We don't do a lot of the texting and the cold calling. Chris handles a lot of that stuff for me. Chris is typically the one who has the relationships with the sellers. So it's good for him to go on those appointments and learn how to navigate them, because the sooner he learns how to do things like that, it frees me up to be able to work on other things. Yeah.
Right. Grow and bring in more deals for him.
Yep.
But starting off, I think if you're in your own market, dude, it's a no-brainer. You need to go on your appointments just to know what someone who needs to sell sounds like. Mm-hmm. Right? Know how to navigate those situations. And you are going to build more rapport there. Like, I'm not going to tell you that you're not. Mm-hmm. But at a certain point in time, you're going to have a little bit more leads than you have time. Yeah. Right. And then you just kind of hash it out whatever way. Like, think about the deal you and Dean did last week. You guys never saw her. There was a fat assignment fee.
Yeah. That was just
all telephone sales.
100%. That was all rapport. And I went out and looked at the properties just because they were next to each other. We knew it was fat. Like, bro, I still get excited, bro. If I know it's a fat deal, like, I want to go look at this shit. You know what I mean? Like, when you're talking about deals that fat, like sometimes I just want to feel like I earned the money. Like,
right. Well, and then I talked to a dude today who's a client of ours who's doing multiple 6 figures a month, and he goes on all of his appointments, but he's in the Bay Area. Yeah. Right. But it makes sense. And he's at the same point to where, like, is it a deal? Mm-hmm. If it's a deal, bro, I'm going.
If it's a deal, I'm going to it because I don't want nobody to fuck it up.
Right. But I don't want anybody to fuck it up. If I can go lock this up, cool. Yeah. But he just has his process and set to where they know when it's time to go and when it's time not to. Yeah. Where at the beginning, like you're just gonna be going on everything, thinking you're gonna get a deal, and you're just gonna.
You go to enough appointments where the shit doesn't turn out the way you think it's gonna turn out, and you're gonna be like, how can I start being able to eliminate these things so I'm not going to just hell of appointments and it just not being anything. It becomes a waste of your time. And another reason for me, it was also because I started losing deals, man. I started running out of time. I do got 3 kids. I do got my wife and, all these things. And so just like everybody else, that's not even an excuse. But the biggest thing is I'm not always able to get out to things. And sometimes I forget. And then I lose an appointment. I don't go on an appointment, or I don't, go look at the house to be able to make an offer. And next thing you know, I see it sent out in the email, and I'm just like, well, shit, what happened to this deal? They're like, oh, it's the easiest one I've ever, the seller was the easiest one I've ever locked up. And I'm just like, all because I couldn't get out to it. You know what I mean? So you just start to delegate those things. And
speed, right? Especially like even with like PPC stuff. So you got Nick Perry. Nick company never goes on appointments.
Yeah.
And they have to answer those and get those closed immediately in order for them to capture that. Mm-hmm. To where I've shown up to PPC appointments 2 hours, the second guy there, and he's like, oh, bro, I already sold it.
Yeah. Because we also got to talk about what PPC leads. Those people are highly motivated because they're typing in sell my house fast. You know what I mean? Like these people are looking for you. So then at that point, it's like, well, shit. Yeah, you got to go on those. You got to go lock those things up.
Well, and what else would it be?
I'll go on appointments like that, bro. If someone send me a PPC lead, I'm on it.
Right. On it.
That's all the motivation I need to know.
But so you'll just have to learn, and then you got to develop your phone skills to be good enough as well.
Yeah.
Right. You got to constantly work on those phone skills and role play.
Hey, bro. So now I got a question. I kind of brought it up to my wife too. So I was asked to come back to work today. And again, it's one of those things.
A great compliment.
Great relationships. You know what I mean? Exactly. You know what I mean? I'm glad that they even thought of me, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. And the conversation just kind of went like, hey, like, we were told that, we can bring, 2 people on. And obviously, the first person we think about is you. Obviously miss you, and we'd love to have you back. And we understand, you're kind of doing your own thing now. And but we still wanted to extend it out to you, right? And so obviously I loved what I did. I loved the people that I worked with. And so then I'm just like, you got to weigh the pros and cons. And it's just like, do I go back? So the biggest thing is just like, well, what's the time period? How consistent is it? And it's through the end of the year. It's every day. And so I'm going back and forth with it, and I'm talking to my wife, and she just kind of like, mind you, my wife is the conservative one, right? She's the one that's typically going to be, when COVID and everything hit, it was one of those things like, shit, gotta figure some shit out. And so she told me, she said, well, you're the first one that said that when all this started and you were able, you didn't have a job and it gave you a little bit more time, it's kind of when your business took off. You know what I mean? And so she was like, so, I mean, what would you really be going back for? And I was just like,
why you go back?
You know what I mean? So that was kind of a hard conversation to have because I obviously really enjoyed what I did and I enjoyed the people that I work with. And so it's tough when you look at just the time that you would be there. And she's like, maybe you made $3,000 a month. She was like, but look how much time you're going to be there. She was like, I mean, you could just go to your office for 2 or 3 days. And she's like, you haven't closed anything less than $5,000. So at that point, it's, that's kind of what came my way today, man. It was kind of tough because obviously I look at it as like, oh, it's a W-2, it's extra.
Right.
Money.
But then that's a different reason. Right. But as far as, right. And that gets you more bankable and this and that. But like my thing, I feel like you wouldn't even be at work. Like you wouldn't even do your job a good service because you would
100%.
be
all
the way over there.
Mine would be somewhere else because
all the way over there.
I understand that that's not what I live off of. You know what I mean? Like the phone rings for a seller or something happens at the Airbnb. And that's what she brought up. She's like, what if something happens with the Airbnb?
Hold up, kids. Hold up, kids. Hold up, kids. Let me take this. Hold up.
So
There's 50 grand on the line here, kids.
What if something happens like it did last week, and we were able to just go handle it? She's like, you won't be able to do that. You know what I mean? I'm just like, fuck. Like, you know what I mean?
But it may force you to create more systems.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Like, it forced you to create more systems.
Yeah. Which
is a good thing, and like puts you in a really hard situation to where, okay. I mean, when you start putting time constraints on things, you start thinking differently.
Yeah.
So you can be like, all right, man, I got 2 hours to do shit today, period.
Yeah.
Right. And you even said when you go to your office, you only got 2 hours, but now you're in work. I just don't see you being dedicated to it.
Yeah. And that's a tough realization, man, to be honest with you. That was real tough for me to have that conversation and to come to, realization that, this is something that, you enjoy doing. And it's just, it probably makes no sense for you to continue to do it,
I mean, congrats though, bro. That's big. I don't know how my mom does it. My mom is the department chair at Utah Valley University, and she runs an adoption agency too.
Yeah.
I don't know where she finds the time, bro. That's what I think about. She has like over 40 employees.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe because she never really stopped, or, you know what I mean?
Right, like she did both of them at the same time. But then I think about, even though she never really stopped it, she's a superhuman. Yeah. I just feel like I don't have the bandwidth to handle it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But like I said, it's because she never stopped. And when you don't stop, you never fully really understand what how powerful you could be, or you know what I mean? Whereas in this situation, like I was forced to kind of, turn up the dial a little bit. And after turning up the dial, it was just like, well, shit, like, why was I ever doing, what took me so long to do it, and so just the thought of going, you almost feel like you're going backwards.
What would you tell people who have a 9-to-5 who are thinking about jumping, bro? I was talking to a friend of ours, Sean, and he, what's it called? Sean wants to keep his 9-to-5, and he's like, bro, I'm doing great, and I love what I do, but he never stopped.
Yeah.
Right, he never stopped, and now he's building his business around that. And Aaron's right here, a true entrepreneur removes himself out of the equation because if you're required to be your business, you, my friend, are a technician, right? Like you're a technician, and it's not your business.
100%. And I thought about that. I was like, okay, I should be able to, I've grown enough to where I should be able to go back and do certain things. But again, the Airbnb side of it now, yes, I'm a technician. In the wholesaling side of it, yes, I don't have to be in it as much. I do dedicate 3 hours a day, but those are little things that I can create a video for and send it off to somebody and make sure that those things get done. I feel 100% comfortable just being able to kind of be afar and do those things. But again, we talk about, my time blocks and stuff like that. Me going back to work wouldn't necessarily be about the business. It'd be more about, it'd be taking time away from my family that I've gotten back. You know what I mean? And so I think that's the biggest thing. You know what I mean? Like I go to work from 8 to 11, and let's be real. I mean, I'm there 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like I'm at work two and a half. I'm there 2.5 hours a day. And so going to work, I'll be there from like 7:30, 8 o'clock till 2.
Bro, that's a lot of time.
You know what I'm saying? And so like that's the time that I spend with my wife is from 12 to 2. So technically me going back to work takes the time away from my wife. So, you know what I mean? So of course she's going to be a little bit different when it comes to me, going back to work. It's like, hey, like that's my time. And how do you really talk? How do you make sense of having to go back when it's not a money issue? Because why do you work?
Well, now you have an Airbnb.
And now we
just go get another Airbnb. If it was a money issue, just go get another Airbnb.
Exactly. And so, yeah, man. So,
well, my friend is going to make a couple million this year. And I'm
just trying to make $1 million, bro.
His wife wants to rent out their basement. I was like, bro, just go build another fucking house. Like, what are you talking about? Rent out your basement. You're crazy. Like, that's just not where your energy needs to go.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, bro. What else? That's all I got, man. More people need to get into e-commerce. Bro, I'm
I need some more
aggressive.
Airbnbs. I need some more Airbnbs.
Right? The cash
Cash
flow.
I need someone who wants to rent their
Cash
house.
flow.
I need someone who wants to rent their house to me, or I need someone who wants to rent their house but don't want to manage it. I just need more Airbnb opportunities. So I am speaking to you. If you have a rental and you want me to be a part of it, let me know.
Let's hear about your e-commerce festivities. We don't really have enough time. What is it?
Yeah.
I bought an e-commerce store for no money down last month that I'm really excited about that we'll get moving with. It's another Amazon store. We're buying another Walmart store as well. And then I think we're going to try and pull the trigger on an FBA store here soon.
So you have 2 Amazon stores?
We have 2 Amazon stores. A Walmart store is being made. We're going to pull the trigger on a Walmart store probably on Monday. And then the next one to get would be an FBA store.
Do we talk about how much this stuff is? I mean, we talk about it, but we don't talk about what the investment is.
I mean, we can. What is it? FBA is like $60K. Walmart
is a 60 cover.
What does it cover? The upfront fee, and then you have a 70-30 split after that. But what is it? Walmart's 35, Amazon is 35, and FBA is about 60.
Okay. And FBA is more white labeling, basically, right?
For the most part, yeah. Like I was learning more about it today. Like you're making a brand.
Yeah, you're making a brand.
Like a product line. You're making a product line at that point.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just finding a product that you feel would be highly profitable, basically, right?
And the margins are bigger than drop shipping. Our other Amazon stores are drop shipping right now.
Yeah, because it depends on the product, right? And so you're looking for a product that you feel like on Amazon that people buy a lot of, that you can buy in bulk at a cheaper, or have, I'm sorry, not that you can buy, that you can have made or produced at a cheap price or a cheaper price, and obviously sell it on Amazon at a.
But you're wholesaling on the internet, bro.
100%.
You're wholesaling on the internet.
I've always liked the FBA model.
The FBA model is like a longer play. I still like the drop shipping model. I refer a bunch of people to the drop shipping model. The FBA obviously is like a bigger buy-in, and then I'm interested to see what Walmart can get going. It
looks like it's doing pretty good, man. I only know one person that has a Walmart store, and it seems like for the most part, I mean, it's pretty profitable.
Yeah, I talked to a dude who has 2 today.
Yeah,
and he felt the same way, to where he was pretty happy with it. I don't know, like I like it because I see it as a hedge against eventually if anything happens in our economy.
Yeah.
Right, where it's like somewhat of commodities. But
I'm sorry. How does the purchase, my boy Juan? How does purchasing work on a drop shop store? For drop shipping, I mean, Stratton, you have the connection for that, correct?
Yeah. You can hit me up and like we'll talk about it. The big thing is that you want what's it called?
It's the credit.
You want a decent amount of credit lines open.
Yeah. So basically, my understanding is it's like $35,000 for the drop shipping store, correct?
Yep.
And then you have to have a line. You have to have enough open lines of credit so that they can continue to restock
inventory. Yeah, you just keep on buying inventory, selling inventory, pay it down, buy inventory, sell inventory, pay it down. Then you get the points. We made on one store like $500 in cash back last month.
Yeah, I honestly, Juan, I've spoke to Juan, so I know a little bit about his situation and just kind of where you sit. Juan's obviously looking to do some type of burring when it comes to investing, right? He's looking to acquire some rentals. Stuff like that, has a little bit of capital. And I just told him it's a little bit tough right now in this market, just because everything is just going to be so high. And I think, Juan, just if you have the capital, you are already looking for a long-term type of investment. I definitely, I've seen people buy into the drop shipping method, and I'm seeing growth in it, to be honest with you. And I think you're in a position where it may be a good investment for you. Just knowing what I know about, kind of what you're looking to do.
Right. And then, I mean, but even if you can get into Airbnb and stuff too, like I love that. I just didn't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
Right. With these, it's a lot more passive.
Yeah. Well, and but that's why a lot of people are in it, because it is. I mean, the biggest thing is capital. And so if you have the money to go ahead and front the $35,000, right, and then you have enough credit limit where you can kind of let it flow on its own, understanding the $35,000 that you're paying is not only just for the store, but also to have it managed, correct?
Yep.
So
and then you pay a percentage out of the profit, right, to the company who runs it for you.
So you're talking completely passive, bro. You're talking about literally writing and cutting this check, and you don't have to do shit for it but answer your emails. You know what I mean? Like, or look at the numbers. So I think it's a hell of an opportunity. And if hadn't I not be, going more into the whole Airbnb space, and wanted to I'm just not into playing the long game right now, because I'm still trying to,
Well, and your cash is just going into that, right? Like, it's just a different investment vehicle. Like, you take the same amount of cash and I go, I'm here already. Let me keep funneling it. And then like you're gonna hit a point again, like, okay, I have more cash than I know what to do with an Airbnb.
Then
then
you start funneling it in more passive.
Then you start funneling it somewhere else.
Streams of income, 100%.
Exactly.
But you have 4 other businesses, so that's kind of where you're running into. Starting to get this cash. Okay, I got to start parking in some other things to make the money work for me. Right now, my money is working for me, and so I just don't happen.
But it's a good thing. I don't think people realize how broke we go.
Yeah.
Like, I legitimately will go broke to buy stuff, and that was the first thing that Alan taught me. He's like, I remember when I bought my first rental.
It's going to bring you more money.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of
Gucci headbands.
That's what we do with Airbnb. We go broke getting Airbnbs, but we understand that we're trading 20 grand, 15 grand to go ahead and make $2,000 a month, because the $20,000 isn't that. I mean, it's important, right? It's a lot of money, but once you're used to seeing $20,000 all the time, it's like, fuck, how can I make it a whole lot easier? Because you work pretty hard to make that 20 grand. So it's just like, I'd rather put it into something that's going to be a whole lot easier for me to make $2,000.
Without a doubt, bro. What's another? I've heard 35K to start, but how much credit do you need to make purchases for the store? I'd tell you to at least get like 40K in like open credit lines, and then there's a company called Fund and Grow that'll help you get as a bunch of business operating credit at 0% APR for like 18 months, dude. So
by that time you're typically very profitable.
Yeah, like at that point, like by the time that's over, you should be good. And obviously there's always risks involved of stores getting shut down, or Amazon getting fidgety, or Walmart getting fidgety. Like one of our good friends, his store got shut down like day 3, right? Obviously it got back up and running, but it's a part of it. But it's just like a tenant not fucking paying rent. Like, that's all it is. Like, a tenant's just not paying rent. Like, the same thing happens. You're still taking strokes, dude.
Yeah. I just think it's crazy at the end of the day. I mean, people make $150,000 investments, to make $200 or $300 a month. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. When we talk real estate, we're talking about paying $100, $150, $200,000 on a property that's going to probably net you $200 or $300 a month. And here we are talking about an Amazon drop shipping store and a Walmart store that you're going to pay $35,000. And I'm seeing people, making $1,500 to $2,000 a month off of it also. So, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's a risk. But I mean, let's be real. When you're talking about investing $35,000, you're able to invest $35,000 because you've found a way to be able to make money at some point. And so
it's a great fucking point, Mike.
You know what I mean?
Point.
You have $35,000 because you've learned how to make money. And so if you was to lose that $35,000, yes, it would fucking sting. But like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I think it don't matter how much money you get. Like, $35,000 is $35,000. But if you lose it, there's a difference between me losing $35,000 and a person in my fucking inbox losing $35,000. You know what I mean? The person in my inbox losing $35,000, he's that damn crackhead in your goddamn rental property. You know what I mean? Me, I'm sitting in my office, not coming home. My wife just doesn't see me for a few days. You know what I mean? But it's coming right back. So, I
don't ever think it's a loss, dude. You'll always
not a loss.
something.
You took a risk. Everything's a risk. But there's a reason why people make money. It's because they take a risk that broke people don't take.
What was it today? I have a quote that I'm going to use for the quote of the day. Let me pull that up right now. It was amazing of taking risks and how important it is, dude. This will be our last little bit. We're running a little bit over.
Here we go. Hold on. Let's look what Carlos said. Aaron, totally agree. Martha has been telling me this forever. The truth is there has to be a mind shift.
Oh, he's talking about his contractor business.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. Higher. Those who do not risk cannot win.
100%, bro. You will lose. You will lose. And what they say, you'll miss every shot you don't take.
Shoot,
baby. Yeah, but when you use other people's money to buy the rental property and no money out of your pocket, it's a win-win. 100%, Aaron. I agree 100% with you. But again, I also know you, Aaron. And if you lost $35,000, yes, it would be hard, but you would bounce right back.
I like the cash flow aspect, right? And like, we're still going to buy real estate just for the tax benefits.
But it's also a long-term play. Like you're not investing this money thinking that it's going to come right now. Like you're investing this money in hopes, just like any type of any rental, right? You're hoping that it's going to be profitable for you for a long time, and so you're looking for some type of passive income. And so,
and you get something different, right? You only get appreciation with like an FBA store, but like think about someone who bought a house in the 6, 15 years ago.
Think about someone who bought. Bro, I was talking to Jason when I sent him that damn comp of that house that went that's contingent right now. Like he sold off some of his homes over there, and he sold it at a good fucking price. But I'm like, bro, like if you held on to that for like 6 more months, you make like another freaking $60,000.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, bro, like
crazy.
I've locked deals up over there, bro. I honestly don't see the days where we're gonna get homes over there. You know, under
100K anymore.
Huh?
Under 100K anymore.
You know what I mean? Like that was normal. Like I've locked something up over there around 50. I've seen people lock them up at 12. You know, $9,000. Like, and this was just 2 years ago. Yep. So like, just think about how much it's grown over there, bro. It's crazy.
Well, bro, I can hear my son giggling in the background, so I better go play with my family.
Yep, for sure. My kids and my wife is at my mother-in-law's house right now, so.
You lucky dog.
Huh?
You lucky dog.
No. They're waiting for me. They're waiting for me in the podcast that started at 7:00 that ends at 8.
Yeah, same, bro. If you guys are looking for any type of VA in any respect or any type of virtual staffing, go to callmagicians.com and they will take care of you.
For sure. If you're looking for the easiest way to get there, man, without you just click the link in my bio. Click the link in my bio.
Mike's link is the best link out there, bro. No, not Max. Nobody has a better link than Mike Butler. Mike Butler's got the best Propstream link out there.
100%, bro. We just
the darling of Propstream. That's her new name. The darling of Propstream. Mike
Darling of Propstream. Again, I love it. That's why I tell people, they're like, "Hey, are you going to make money off of this?" And I'm like, bro, it took me a long time to realize that I need to be making money off of it because I love the product so much.
You tell everybody about it. Like, bro, go use it. Go use it. Go use it.
Well, yeah, I told everybody. I mean, I can only think about how many people done signed up for it already before I even became an affiliate with Propstream. You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things like I love it so much. Someone signed up last night and they're just like, oh my gosh. They're like, I was on it all night. I'm like, bro, like,
hey, bro, it's powerful.
It's really powerful and it's really good, man. And
it's affordable, bro. It's the most affordable software we have.
$97 a month. You get 10,000. You can export 10,000 addresses a month, right? And it's not just a comping tool. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, bro, like I literally pull up the address. I can see when I'm looking at the
transactions.
I can
see the transactions, bro.
Bought the home before. If I'm looking at a comp, right, that's pending right now, I can see who flipped it by just looking at the transaction, which means now you know a buyer in that area. You know what they bought it at. So now you got buyers in that area.
You can buy stuff higher.
You can buy stuff higher, right? So now it helps you make these offers. It helps you link properties. Now that's a newer addition that I definitely like looking at. Like I pulled up one of the properties before that I was talking to a seller about, and when I clicked link properties, he had over $4 million in properties. So that tells me that the person's an investor. You know what I mean? So the way you're going to approach this person is going to be completely different than someone who only has one property or two properties, right? I called this dude. He said that he was looking for $200,000. I called him back. I'm like, hey, you talked to Chris earlier, reaching out about your property on 123 Main Street. He told me you were looking to get about $200,000. And he's like, sure. I was like, what do you mean, sure? He's like, I'll take $200,000. I said, shit, I bet you will. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something I can say to somebody else. You know what I mean? But since I knew he was an investor, I was able to kind of make a joke about it because he knew damn well that shit was too high. You know what I mean? So he's actually going to be coming to our office sometime either this week or next week. And we're going to sit down and look at his portfolio and see what else it is that he has on there that he wants to sell just because he bought this one at an auction. And I told him, I said, bro, I think you bought it too high. He's like, yeah, I bought it at an auction. Figured I'd tear it down and build something on it. I said, yeah, I think you just, you were at an auction, bro, and you just bought it.
You got caught up. You got slides from auction, bro.
And he's like, that's exactly what happened. He's like, I bought it just to buy it. It's high. I understand. I get it. I'll get to it when I get to it. Like, you know what I mean? But that's, again, that was a relationship I was able to build based off of using Propstream to see who I was dealing with. You know what I mean? So again, go to mainlinecomps.com. You're going to get a 7-day free trial. After that, it's $97 a month, man. Like I said, it's no.
This isn't even a sales pitch. Legit, it's not. You need it. Like if you don't have this or at least Property Radar, you're doing yourself a disservice.
A disservice. Like I'm telling you, it changed the game. Like bro, like my card was declined one time for some dumbass reason. I don't know.
Your entire business shut down.
Bro, I damn near freaked out, bro. I'm like, fuck. Like I'm looking at Redfin.
I can't comp. I can't look up anything. How do I write up the contracts? What am I supposed to do?
Wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way I'm going to be competitive with my offers comping off of Zillow and Redfin, bro.
Zillow's not bad when you're just getting started out, but Propstream does so much more.
$97 a month. Get your ass on mainlinecomps.com and get your ass some Propstream. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys, man. This was a long one. We're sitting at almost an hour and a half. It's been great, getting on here once a week and talking to you guys. You guys being able to take a dive into me and Stratton's conversations.
Shout out Aaron.
Shout out Aaron, man. I think she's been on every goddamn podcast.
Every podcast. Shout out Aaron. And Cletus. I know Cletus is watching. He's just not commenting.
Podcasting platform.
Huh?
Are we getting closer to getting this on a podcasting platform?
Yeah, we can talk about it tomorrow.
Wait, hold on. Before we get off. We have the intro and the outro for our podcast, though. Should we give them a little listen?
Oh, yeah. Well, so the VA took care of it, and then I heard the outro yesterday. Well, this morning, and I was not happy with it. Like, it sounded like poppy.
Did it?
He's fixing it.
I'm trying to think where the hell God damn it. I was excited about it. I was very excited to just show
you. All right, but we got to go.
No, we don't. We got to show them this shit real quick. All right, bro. Yeah, I can't find it. It's taking me too long.
We'll play it at the beginning of the next podcast.
Got him. All right, man. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys. Thank you.